So, look, Sally's all ready with the candle. And Mark's got his candle there. So this is the time when we come together, we light our candle. And it's a very special moment when we light our candle and recognize that the candle is the light within us, the outer symbol that reflects the inner symbol. So I'm going to invite you all to find a candle and light it. And when you've lit your candle, we hold them up so that we can see that outer symbol that represents the light that we are. So it's really important, first and foremost, that we acknowledge the light that is within us, the light that's around us, the light that connects us with each other and with the energy that we call God. And I invite you just to take a moment to focus on your own candle and appreciate it for a moment. And appreciate the light that's within each of us as we look to each other and the screen and see the light here in front of us. We've come from all around the world to be together this afternoon. And it's really important just to acknowledge this conscious act of coming together is the way that we symbolize and recognize and share the light that we are. And we're going to go into some quiet time of prayer, again, to keep taking this energy down and inward to meet the presence of God within us. So Paul will share the prayer, the invocation that we say together. So if you can see the words in front of you, I invite you to join me in reading them out loud. I am now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power, O Blessed Spirit. In your divine wisdom, now erase my mortal limitations, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law. So let's take a few moments to close our eyes and really let this intention and focus get rooted within us, become real, experienced, known. So let us know right now that we are in the presence of pure being. With every breath we breathe, with every beat of our heart, God is here. So taking that conscious breath in and knowing that we breathe in the presence and the power, the life and light and love eternal, that is not only always here for us, but we are one with. So as much as we can, we let any barriers dissolve to that deeper knowing that we are the light, the life, the love that is God, filling us, becoming us, and extending from us. To enfold all of us here in this meeting together this afternoon, this coming together, this reunion. We take a moment to bless each other very consciously. And as a whole group, we send our blessings out to the world. A continuous flow that is light, life, and love that goes out to touch people's minds and hearts, to bring comfort where needed, to bring a sense of hope and faith, to bring a deeper knowing of the fact that we are here to help each other and support each other and know the truth for each other, that we are all beloved of God, one with God, and all of God is here for all of us in every moment. And so know that the very activity of God as love and wisdom is here in our midst. And we say thank you for all the ways that we know this for ourselves and each other, here and now. Amen. And now it's over to Paul, who is going to read our daily word for us today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today's word is steadfast. And the affirmation says, I am a steadfast spiritual seeker. No matter where I may be on my path, sometimes my spiritual life feels easy and sometimes it feels hard. There are times I enjoy new insights, blissful clarity and peace. Other times I may struggle, feeling stuck and directionless, or even lonely on my walk with God. At times like these, I renew my commitment to my spiritual path. Although my attention may have wandered, the divine presence within me has always remained steadfast, as near as my next thought. Wherever I am in space, time, or consciousness, I discover the love, strength, and wisdom of God expressing through me. Powerful words. And the Bible extract comes from Psalm 139. If I take the wings of the morning and settle at the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. It's always interesting to understand a little bit about the context of these Bible readings. To me, they mean more if we kind of understand a bit more about where they're from. And Psalm 139, the psalmist spends probably about 3/4 of the psalm talking about the fact that God is everywhere. God is everywhere with him, knows all about him. And it's really a message of oneness. And indeed, if we go slightly before this reading, it says, if I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I descend to Sheol, you are there too. Sheol being the place that in Jewish and Hebrew tradition, one goes when one dies. And the translation in the Hebrew Study Bible is very slightly different from the one in Daily Word. It says, if I take wing with the dawn to come to rest on the western horizon, even there your hand will be guiding me. Your right hand will be holding me fast. So it really is saying that God is there throughout the vertical and throughout the horizontal, everywhere. And having spent about 3/4 of the psalm talking in those terms, the psalmist ends up saying, examine me, O God, and know my mind, and guide me in ways everlasting. And the thing that comes across to me throughout the psalm is just how much faith the psalmist has, how much trust that the psalmist genuinely has in God and God's continuing presence. So it really does align beautifully with this idea of being steadfast and the fact that divine presence is always with us, as near as our next thought. And so let's just finish by, as we always do, saying this affirmation 3 times. First as I, second as you, and third as we. I am a steadfast spiritual seeker. You are steadfast spiritual seekers. We are steadfast spiritual seekers. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lovely to see you all. And yes, connecting to our peace. And as we've already been saying, as Kim has already been saying, You know, it's already here. It's our oneness. It's what we belong to and have got out of touch with. Well, certainly speaking for myself. You know, and for me, the joy increasingly is feeling the connection, actually experiencing it as a well-being, as peace, as joy. Knowing our oneness is so inspiring, even if it's only short bursts like we had in the reading. You know, we touch this inspiration from time to time, certainly my experience. And then it seems to, you know, we lose touch with it and we have to start again. But each time there's progress, each time we come back to it. And the foundation of reconnecting, of connecting to our inner being, our oneness, is giving ourselves quiet time, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, which will, you know, that can be quite adequate. And also being aware when we are connecting to peace, like when you're on a walk and you're seeing the autumn trees, or maybe with this song that we've just shared, you know, you feel a peace, you feel an inspiration, you feel a connection. And as Kimberly said at the beginning, it's in everything. It's not just in us, it's in every object. It's in the walls, it's in the floor, it's in the ceiling. And to have those moments when we feel that, and we can do a practice that gives us that experience. In order to prepare ourselves, you know, for our practice of turning within, meditation, whatever you want to call it, quietening the mind, it's a good idea to start by relaxing. And same with prayer. We do need, you know, I don't know about you, but I can rush into prayer without actually getting calm and getting relaxed and calming down and turning within and getting centered. So one of the things I'd like to recommend, which I've come across recently myself through Abraham, David will be glad to know, is be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of time not being nice to myself, and it will still come up. The voice will still come up in me. And we all have this inner critic, I'm sure. And maybe it's getting less, hope so. But a conscious practice of being nice to ourselves connects us to our peace. It's a relief, you know, and in that relief, you immediately are feeling your peace, because basically it's our error thinking, as Unity says, that keeps us separate from this inner joy and this inner peace that we all are. So that's my first thing, be nice to yourself. And the other thing is chill out. That's another thing that I've been practicing, is chill out. And the kind of way that is connecting to your peace. If you think of yourself maybe on a beach or just having a nice rest in an armchair, just some kind of chill out, just for a moment or two. And again, it doesn't have to be a big issue. That's what I'm finding. It's just the thought, chill out, Isabel, just chill out. And stop. And I find that's really helpful. Meditation or focus is turning within and dropping through to a deeper level of our minds, stilling our thoughts. However we still our thoughts, the effect is to take us deeper into our mind and connect us to our inner being, which is always here. We just need to get ourselves out of the way, which is a very helpful term, I think. Get myself out of the way. And in that we can rest, and in that rest we feel a good feeling, a well-being, something we recognize. Sometimes it's like, I know this is divine love. And it's just so encouraging, so supportive. The idea is we're dropping from the top level of our minds, our busy minds, our thought-provoked minds, our stormy emotions, our resistance, and drop down into the deeper level of mind through meditation, focus, stilling our thoughts. And then we connect to the power for good, which is operating in and through us at all times, but has more ability to help us when we get still and connect. Thank you. And as I said, I'm going to change the tone slightly now. I'm going to turn our attention to the COVID situation. And I want you to bring to mind something that concerns you about it at the moment. It could be, family, or it could be health, or it could be finances. It could just be uncertainty. But whatever just comes into your mind that concerns you about it, that causes you anxiety or fear, frustration, just feel it in your body. Maybe, your solar plexus or your forehead, and shoulders. And just give it a little bit of attention, a bit of allowing, acknowledging. And then I'd like you to give it a number from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest number. So this is called the pre-test. And then just when you've given yourself a number, we let go of it. So now we are going to turn our attention to this calmer level of mind, our deeper inner being, and our oneness together. And it helps so much that we do it together. It builds the depth of it, the ability to access it. It's called the N² effect. So I invite you now to just relax. Just maybe have a smile and shove your shoulders around and shake your arms or something if you want to, just something to feel a little bit more comfortable from that. Feeling the weight on the chair. Aware of your breathing, just gently aware. And the breathing in and the breathing out. And I invite you, if you haven't already, to close your eyes. And so if you have done this before, I invite you to take your hand and just hold it up in front of you anyway. And then ask yourself, how do I know my hand is there? This is a practice from Eckhart Tolle. How do I know my hand is there without opening your eyes, without moving it, without thinking about it? Maybe you can feel warmth or a very subtle energy. Maybe you become more aware of your separate fingers or your thumb. And if you're comfortable too, I'd like you to lift up the other hand as well. If you need to lower your hand at any time, that's fine. And now give your attention to your other hand. How do I know it's there without moving? What can I sense? Now just return your attention to your first hand. And your second hand then. And then see if you can hold your attention on both hands together. You might want to move your hands slightly if that helps. The idea is to focus the attention of the mind on both hands together. Now you may be feeling heat in your palms. You may experience an expansion. Whatever it is your experience, look into it gently, curiously, just looking in. What's in there? And lower your hands when you need to. Put them on your lap and feel into your hands on your lap. You're looking into the deep space within our minds. Or some good feeling, some feeling of well-being, peace. Or if not, just keeping your attention on your fingertips, any tingling. If thoughts come in, that's okay. Return your attention to your hands or the space. So now just become aware of your weight on the chair, and if you have a good feeling, a sense of space, see if you can have a sense of that and your weight on the chair. And then maybe your whole body, aware of your whole body, arms and legs, feet, head and shoulders. Aware of your breath, breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, open your eyes gently, no rush, feeling any good feeling, feeling the warmth in your body, whatever's working for you. And gently open your eyes when you're ready and just look softly at something nearby, maybe your candle or your cup. And just feeling that inner connection as you look. And so, when you're ready, again, maybe rub your hands together or stretch to your finger, with your toes, like we say. And just bring your attention back to the common consciousness, basically, the wavy line. So I'd like you now to bring back to mind what you thought of about the COVID situation and give it a number 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. See if it's changed. It can go up. You know, it can go up. It's okay if it has. But it may be the same or it may have dropped. I invite you, if you're willing, to just pop it in the chat box. It's just calming our minds and connecting to ourselves. And as Kimberly said, we're doing it through the body. The tendency has been to go out, you know, I've been looking God out there, the peace out there, help out there, but we're going through our bodies, going into ourselves now. And as I like to say, the prodigal son, it always struck me, he said he came to his senses. We're coming to our senses, literally. The whole object for me of this is to feel good, is to, obviously the most important thing is to feel our oneness, but on a more human level, it's to feel good. And it's to have the benefits. And it's like Jesus said, seek first the kingdom of heaven. It's like this is giving us that access so that more of it can manifest in our lives and everyone's. And as we know, it's really important at this time. Well, it's always important. I'm sure many of you, all of you, if not all of you, are meditating in your own ways, and there's just so much out there. And we're just recommending Mooji, if you really want to get deep, Mooji, Mooji, and Eckhart Tolle. So thank you, everyone, and thank you.
But here on this planet, right here, right now, right where you are is where you are supposed to be. So this is the right place for you wherever you are. All right, Spirit is at work through you, around you, as you. And when we use these skills that Isabel practices and teaches us to go deeper, to get quiet, we come to feel it and know it. And then we can share it. Then we live it and breathe it. And then the world is changed. And the world changes because we change. So bless you all. Thank you so much. Isabel, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Paul, for your work with putting this together. We've got our closing prayers and blessings to do to bring our time together to a close this afternoon. So we have our closing prayer, which is the traditional prayer for protection that's been said for many, many years in unity. It's well known around the world. And these days we add the I am statements, because the I am is God expressing as us. All right, so this is why we have the I am statement. So again, I invite you to read this out loud. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. So this is true for every single one of us, each of us here present, everybody on the planet, because wherever we are, God is. Bless you. It's such a joy to see your
Oh.
faces and your names and to know that you've taken the time to connect with us. I pray you've had a blessed afternoon like we have had. And we look forward to seeing you the next time in any and all that we offer through Unity. So bless you. Go well, be blessed, have fun, be at peace.
Thank